talented receivers as a guy up in Jersey or New York, however you want to look at it, for the Giants named Malik Neighbors. This guy is phenomenally talented. We don't know what he's going to be as a receiver moving forward, but his talent level, his explosion, his hands, his ability to get open is incredible. But he's in the same situation. Daniel freaking Jones. Oh my gosh. Listen, Daniel Jones, I know you ain't played football in a long time. I know this. But it's preseason, week 2. Why the heck are you throwing these passes that you're choosing to throw? That pick 6 was, he been in the league, this is 6 years.
Yep.
That pick 6 was college level, like rookie level stuff. I'm trying to make something happen, and I just don't want to. In the preseason, this is what you're doing. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, both picks weren't very good.
If I'm a Giants fan, yes, I'm worried. I understand it's the preseason. It's like, oh, it don't count, whatever. But doing that, that's unacceptable. Those types of throws are unacceptable, man. And they're trying to finally put people around you, trying to improve on the O-line. The O-line actually played better. The O-line was blocking well.
Protection used to be sketchy, and I feel like it's been a lot better in the preseason. They had a lot of, he had time on both throws. The one that Stingley picked off, that was just the underthrown ball. Stingley, he's been playing really, really well the last 2 years with the Texans. He was he blanketed the receiver and just went up like a routine, like he was the receiver on that one. It was just, I didn't like that throw. But what comes back, Gerald, that I keep coming back to when thinking about this Giants situation is Brian Daboll and the Hard Knocks situation, where you had a little insight of what was going on. And I keep going back to Brian Daboll when he was asked about Daniels, and that he didn't even flinch when answering about trading up to get him. And I wonder that level of, Daniel Jones hearing that. I'm sure he watched it. I'm sure he got texts about it. He's admitted to, not being happy with it. Just that being out there, I wonder if that has affected him a little bit, because, it is the part of the business, but, your own head coach blatantly says to the audience, like, I want to trade up for Daniels, who's the Commanders' QB. Like that to me, it sticks out more than anything, just because it's still going through this process of Daniel Jones throwing 2 picks in preseason that weren't very good picks, but it just keeps coming back up to light that Daboll, the quarterback coach, was like, please draft somebody.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, because with this being the type of podcast where we don't want to just be analysts or evaluate the surface level stuff. Let's talk about the psyche of a player.
Let's get into the nitty gritty.
Let's
the
talk about the psyche
thing. We just heard my guy Tua.
Thank you for bringing up Tua.
Yeah,
that's exactly where I was headed.
Yeah.
The psyche of a player, there's nothing better for a player to produce than knowing your organization believes in you. You're comfortable at this organization because they believe in you. A personal situation that happened with me when I ended up leaving Tampa. What was the tipping point for me? And I've spoken on this, but if this is the first time you're hearing it, all you Tampa fans, I'm going to tell you what happened. At the end of the 2018 season, Jason Light did an interview about, all the GMs and the coaches, they do end of season interviews, the exit interviews. And they asked about Jameis Winston. And Jason Light said, Jameis is our guy. We love Jameis. We want him here. He's our future. Blah, 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 this, and this. That's what you're supposed to say about your quarterback. Fine. They asked him about me. Well, we got to look at the tape. Everybody gets evaluated. This, and this. And I'm like, been here 9 years, face of the franchise, all these Pro Bowls, all this. I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
So at that point now, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, they finding a way to push me out. All right, if that's what we doing, then that's what we gonna do. So when I'm talking about when you bring up Daniel Jones and his psyche, when he's hearing his coaches, they're on Hard Knocks. They know they're being recorded. They have to agree to this. Yeah. It ain't like they got caught or somebody leaked some audio. They know that this is going to go out.
Yeah.
So when they're saying,
and I'm gonna keep going on this topic about that, like confidence and withstalling in that confidence in you. Is I had a similar situation, kind of that Daniel Jones had a little bit, but I regained, or I want to say more like Tua, where you lost confidence. I had my position coach when I got drafted 40th overall, second round to the Detroit Lions. I would have my coach come up to me for my first 2 seasons and tell me, you're a good football player, but we don't know where to put you. And the first thought came to my mind was like, why did you draft me? Like, if you don't know where to put me, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And then I finally eventually I start a little bit my 3rd season, get traded to New England, and I'll never forget it. I'm getting ready to do a punt drill, and Bill's, spinning his whistle. Bill Belichick spinning his whistle. And it's the first time me greeting Bill. I didn't meet with him. I literally jumped in like I was a regular player, didn't talk to him until that point of practice of punt. So this is like the middle of practice.
Right.
And he's spinning in his whistle and he looks at me in my face and he says, Van Noy, I've always loved your game, but I'm going to tell you one thing. I always get my guys. And that to me gave me all the confidence world that I had. To me, he's the greatest coach of all time. He's the greatest defensive coordinator all time, telling me, a player that I just had a coach, didn't know where to put me. Then I have the greatest coach saying, like, I know exactly what to do with you, and you're one of my guys. Like, that was insane confidence builder in me. And I don't know if Daniel Jones has someone like that right now.
Yeah.
And I hope he does. I hope somebody gives him that confidence, as well as it's always on the player. But to have, like what you said, an organization behind you, especially when you're getting paid that much money, especially in New York, where you have the fans and all of that distraction already against you.
For real.
I hope Daniel Jones comes out of this on the other side. I really do. Just not when we play him later this year, but I hope he does.
Yeah, for sure. And another example of that is Baker Mayfield. Had all the issues in Cleveland, had injuries. They up in the air about what they gonna do with him. This. He ended up in LA, went to the Rams, got off the plane and won that game versus the Raiders. But
awesome story.
When he gets to Tampa, it's a QB competition. And he wins the job. And I did an interview and I talked to Baker. Baker said, and he let it be known, I was injured. I'm healthy now. I've actually had an offseason to train, prepare, and he went out there and he performed. You know what Tampa did? They re-signed him and let him know, you are our guy. We want you to be the guy. We believe in you. And you get what you got from Baker Mayfield. And now he's there. He's comfortable. I've been there. I've been watching him. He told me out his own mouth, there's no better feeling than knowing you are wanted. Than knowing they are happy to have you here. So now Baker is playing stress-free. He's got his guys. They brought everybody back. And people don't understand the psyche of a organization letting it be known they want you as their guy. That's why, and we gonna get into it, the Cowboys. There's a lot going on in that organization.
I know. I was gonna say you rallied real good into that segue of wanting to be that guy. And how do you feel like you're that guy or feel like you're wanted? You have to what? Pay me.
Give me.
That's how we're wanted, right?
Give me my money. That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about.